GM, daily levels. So Bitcoin looks really good. Friday's close was strong, and I'll show what I mean in a second. And first of all, I want to do a higher time frame view with this. So after our most recent wipe in open interest, which happened during the war fears, if I'd steadily building up OI with flat to negative funding, indicating that there's probably some build-up of shorts within this, and they have not been wiped yet. Even though we're pushing higher, there has not been a squeeze to actually wipe them. It's up 26,000 contracts, almost 20% up. So 1,000 contracts is 60 million, 66 million at the moment. So 10,000 is 6 billion, 600 million, sorry. 20,000 is 1.2 billion. Add another 6. We're talking about 1.5 billion build up of positions. That's not a build up of shorts. Remember, open interest is a long and a short, but there's definitely steadily rising. And we've seen this before several times. Once you get a big wipe to the downside, price consolidates sideways and up with rising open interest, tends to lead to continuation short squeezes. Right, this happens multiple times. You see it here as well. You get the big wipe at the FTX collapse. You then have price consolidating and rising slightly, and rising open interest. Drops back down briefly, but picks back up. And where does the big wipe of open interest come? On the short squeeze. So it's a far more common occurrence that Bitcoin's open interest declines in rallies as shorts have to close. If you look at this, even just here, the entire way through the bear market, open interest was just mooning, right? And then those positions, a lot of them closed at FTX, but then the first leg of the bull rally was a closing out of a lot of short positions and just squeezing. And then positions changing hands. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a big squeeze yet to come, which might take us to the highs. ETF flows yesterday to finish the week, 221 million. That is everything I needed to see. So I'm starting to build swing longs in Bitcoin. I talked about this the last few days. Really simple. I'll break it down on trade of the day. And from a lower time frame perspective, Bitcoin's doing exactly what you want to do if it's going to go for one of these squeezes. Probably give no pullbacks and just go higher. I just think we go higher. Simple. Maybe we don't. Obviously, I don't read the future, but everything's pointing that way. So first thing, I talked yesterday, we consolidated here, took out the highs, sold off, right? Then as it reclaims, it breaks up above and is now consolidating above that level. That's the exact opposite of bearish, right? Here, totally different. Sweeps out the highs, drops down, and stays down. This one swept out the highs, dropped down, immediately reclaimed, and is consolidating above. So it's the equivalent of this happening, where you're consolidating up here instead of down there. This is just strength, straight up. So I think Bitcoin's going higher. The false breakout, right, is the thing people are talking about, or I mentioned it yesterday, where you come up to this level, you take those stops, you might say, oh, but look, we're below that level. Isn't that bearish? The reaction of that level was not even remotely bearish, right? It's about the reaction. Yes, it took stops and came back down, but look at it. Straight back up, consolidating on resistance. Now, I don't think it's necessarily just going to moon straight from here on the weekend. We probably have some kind of a flush down briefly, but I don't think it goes much below that 50 on the 1 hour. And that's really it. There's a few altcoins moving. I talked about Bitcoin and Solana. Right, so there's Bitcoin, there's Solana, both of them strong. Then I talked about things like some other altcoins. They're lagging. Doge is lagging. Bonk is lagging. What else? Even Ethereum. Ethereum started to move now finally. but still lagging. And so that's a good thing. Bitcoin's the strongest, Solana following it. They have been typically the two leaders of this bull market. And so it seems like now capital is flowing back towards those, back towards the ones that people know and trust and are bullish on. Seems good. On the overall market, funding, large caps, mid caps, small caps, all flat, right? Green is right in the middle. They're all neutral funding. There's no high funding. There's some of them even touching on negative funding or low funding. So still a healthy market from that perspective. Price rising. We still have a spot premium on Bitcoin and have had a spot premium now for, a month, right? And now finally price is respecting it by going up and funding rates are muted. Couple that with yesterday's close. That was the last thing I was waiting for. Remember what I said? On Wednesday, I said if we have Thursday and Friday both closing above 65 with volume and with ETF flows, which we got, inflows, that's it. That's it. We're bullish. We're going higher. Up. That's my view from here. We go up. We go probably significantly higher, probably to the highs, at least to 70k. And I don't think there's any significant pullback coming until people start to FOMO in long. You start to see the spot premium disappearing and you start to see futures taking over. So I'll break that down in the next one. But all coins look healthy. Bitcoin way better. Focus on Bitcoin, focus on Solana for me. If Bitcoin and Solana do run towards the highs, once they start getting towards that, that's when you want to look at some alts that are lagging and moving towards maybe their daily bands flipping green to get you some good setups there. But that's it. GM.